Hey folks, it's Echo here. Welcome to Horde Base Breakdown. This is one of my favorite series where I get to walk you around one of my new creations, show you how it functions, toss a horde at it, and then judge it. The Night Train is a crawler base, meaning that it takes advantage of the 1.5 meter crawl that zombies can do now, as well as hosting an array of defenses including blade traps, electric fences, and turrets. When not fighting the Horde, you can enjoy kicking back in this steampunk-inspired base. You'll appreciate that all the cables have been hidden inside the walls and that you've got plenty of space for crafting, storage, and then even a garden. After I show you around this fine piece of real estate here, I'm going to crank the difficulty up to insane nightmare 64 zombies, all the bells and whistles, and we'll see if it stands up. Let's get to it. We're going to fly into the base so you can get kind of a concept of the size and scale of it. Also, I want to talk about the inspiration for this base, as it was largely bits and pieces of other bases that I saw spread across my community server. So if you enjoy crazy intricate builds like this, consider subscribing and joining me. Also on Wednesday nights, come out and see the community server stream where you'll see other crazy bases that inspired this. Getting started on the tour, at the top here, we've got a couple SMG turrets, which are just meant to keep the buzzards off the ceiling. And then from here, we're going to go straight down into our crafting area. At each spot, we're going to close this behind us so we keep things nice and safe. I threw a bedroll down here. So in here, we've got a chem station and some boxes. Then we've got an array of 12 boxes over here. And then here is our forge and workshop. And I set this up to look kind of like a boiler room, and you're going to see this aesthetic that is carried throughout the base. If you're wondering how I did this, these are just pipes. If you search up pipe in your shape menu and then color them with the clay roofing. Down below here is where the zombies are going to path in. So if you had a multiplayer situation, you could have someone shooting the zombies from up here, but this is not the primary fighting position. But since it's just going to be me, we're going to close that to keep things safe. Next on our tour, we've got the garden through here. I'm a huge fan of having a base be totally self-sufficient so you have everything that you need right there. So if you look around the edges of the room here, you're going to see there's no immediate light sources. There's a neat trick to doing this, and I did a whole video on this if you want to check it out. I'll link it up in the top right. It shows you how you can build gardens either underground or indoors like this. We're going to go down to the next floor where we have the fighting position. Again, just close these doors up as we go behind us. So this area and the floor below took a lot of rework to get the pathing to work correctly. So some of the aspects of this is your primary fighting position. And down below, we've got a blade trap, which is accessible to repair. You can just drop to here. And then I'm able to repair that. That's interesting that it glitches out there. Also, you have the ability to huck grenades through here. You can get Molotovs through there to hit down into the bottom, or just regular grenades. Likewise, you can shoot through the security grates, but the majority of what you're going to be fighting is dead ahead. The zombies are going to path straight into here. They'll hit those electric fences right there. And then if they pile up too much, which you're likely to see during Horde Night, you've got this dump switch. You hit that and it pulls the garage doors back, which drops them down below. And as they drop, they fall through an array of electric fences here as well. So they're shocked when they hit the ground. Your other switch up here is just to turn your electrical fences on and off. So in regards to the wiring for the electrical fences, they come into the base over here. They start on this side and they path across. And then on the opposite side, you have the ability to repair during Horde Night right here. So you just walk over and there's all your electric fences, which you can repair directly through the railings that you're walking on top of. Then also, if you need to repair the exterior electric fences, you just come right up here and you have access to all of these as well. Additionally, if you wanted to, you could have some of your teammates up on the ledge here fighting as they're going up the path there. Just some more options if you're talking for multiplayer. Also, this gives you access if the garage door was busted during Horde Night and you want to come back and replace it. You would just place it right there and then just rewire things. So lastly, I'll note I added this after a couple of failed runs. This just lets you see through to the basement where all the wiring and whatnot is in case the zombies manage to break through. You can shoot through these. These are 3D trusses, and be able to defend the basement and clear out those last few zombies. So next, let's head down to the basement here. So this has a couple levels, so you can move along the top here. Again, if zombies broke through, you can fight from this top position. Otherwise, you come down here, and this is just giving you access to all the cabling in the base. So we've got relays back behind there. Here are your 2 generators, which are powering the entire base. Red and yellow are indicators, and I use those to go under relays and things. Red indicates typically the powertrain for the weapons, and the yellow is for the lighting. And I've got these doors. So again, we're just creating compartmentalized areas. So if the zombies bust through this, first off, you've got a couple shotgun turrets and then a spotlight providing illumination out to the fighting area. And again, you've got a few areas here with relays in the floors. I try to keep those all accessible. Now let's make our way to the exterior of the base where you can see how the pathing works. But while we're walking out that way, if you're curious on some of the block choices here, I did a whole video on blocks that you can shoot through, repair through, and run electricity through that I'll link up in the top right. So this is something that I adapted. I ended up having some zombies stack up along the back occasionally. So I added a couple SMG turrets here in the back. Those are faced inward and down a little bit so that I'm having a rough time with the ladder here. There we go. So that just keeps them from piling up in the back. You'll notice I've got these grates with spotlights on the side. These are totally optional and are just here to provide some illumination during the battle so that you can easily see what's going on. Then likewise, I would say if you were building this on your own, this is just to support that garden section. So if you want to go sans garden, you could slim this profile down quite a bit. So I wanted to show the front section here real quick and then the pathing. So this is where the zombies are, will tend to pull up when they are not actively pathing, as well as when you dump them. So you can see those garage doors open, and that is the cross of electric fences that they path through. They hit the bottom here. There are a couple turrets on the bottom here. Additionally, there are turrets on each side to provide support, as well as the ones that we mentioned in the back there before. So the blade traps help keep them demotivated from heading that way. And you'll notice that there is a tripwire here that triggers that on. Once it hits, that's on for about 5 minutes. So on the other side, just a point of note, you can see these are where the relays are taking power out. I just embedded those a few blocks down and put railings over because you can actually reach down through those if you want to. With wire tools as well as for repairs and be able to touch those. All right, let's put that back away. And then the last thing that I wanted to call out here, just from an aesthetic trick, these are pipes that I put running underneath with some basic lights underneath just to provide a little bit more character. That was a neat trick that I learned from one of my community members. Ethan had done that on his alien styled base. So the zombies are going to have 2 paths to go up here, as well as the path over here in case they're coming from that direction. They'll join together up here, and then they're going to narrow down where they're going to hit this section here, and then they're going to have to duck, and then they're going to crawl through you to across all these electric fences, and then they're going to kind of get stuck and still be able to squeeze through there. So this is where you'll want to dump them when they pile up. So that is the basic composition of the night train. If you have any questions on it, make sure to hit me up in the comments section below. But let's get into the Horde battle and see how this goes. All right, here we are, day 7,000, hopping on into the night train. It looks like we've already got friends. We're gonna switch on the power. We're gonna chow down some vitamins. We're gonna throw a couple nades down here. Just let those hang out. We'll use those later. Close this up, and we should be in good shape for our guests to arrive. Yeah. That's my buddy. He's excited. Get on in there, folks. So initial pathing is looking pretty good here. Just to talk to my build real quick so that you know what I'm working with. I spec'd into snipers and into machine guns. So I put perks into there. I'm fully level 300 so that we can get that 720 game stage. but I've got well over 200 points that are completely unspent. So nothing into healing or damage mitigation. To pair up with those, I've got a tier 6 M60 and a tier 6 sniper rifle that I'll be using. In terms of armor, I'm not using any of that, just the clothes on my back, you know, for modesty. So far on this base, I think I've done at least 12 hours of testing and oh no! That's way too early for that. But I was saying I've done at least 12 hours of testing and modifying to tweak this base to get it to work, so man, I'm hoping I survive this night. And they just keep piling on in. So the real challenge on this 720 game stage 64 zombies is that at the end, if you don't clear out all the zombies fast enough, you end up with a non-stop chain of screamers, just one after another. So what we're going to do at the end is we're going to try to hold up some of our grenades and see if we can do a large burst of damage and clear out the last bit as a large push. So if you notice, I'm using these garage doors as a couple different things. Number one, it slows down the flow, gives me a chance to reload my weapon, but also it lets me get the zombies grouped up so I can drop grenades below and hit a huge crowd while they're all stunned as they fall through that electrical fence. Just like that. It's so satisfying. All right, we got to keep pulling that back up though because we don't want the pathing to shift. All right, let's check the back door. Anything? No, it looks like those turrets in the back are taking care of things. Keep thinning these out. Goodbye, folks. Yeah, the garage doors are extremely effective. It gives a nice big path for them to go across. And see, we can pop down here and heal that blade trap. That's one of the design things that I wanted to make sure we could do. Oh god, that's the biggest thing I've had to worry about too. The cop spit is deadly when you don't have any armor and you're this late in the game. So that I've been trying to avoid as much as possible. And then the other thing is just trying to watch which areas they're really banging on, because they'll pick a side and just start trying to carve into that wall if you don't get them off. Woo! Go, doggo! Oh, man. So at 2 a.m., this is definitely the best run that I've had yet. Let's huck a bunch of grenades down here and see if we can thin out that herd. Only 16 grenades left, so we got to reserve some of these for the end. Damn, that is a bunch of demos and soldiers. After I popped that one early on, I'm just scared as hell to fire down the lane, but you got to do what you got to do. Have a seat, gents. Woo. It has been a while since I've played game stage like this with 64 zombies because I've been playing on a community server so much, and the servers just can't handle that many zombies. So this is just crazy exhilarating. All right, let's get some repairs in really quick. Getting ready for this last little push of the night. No one downstairs. All right, let's see if we can get him pathing back up top again. And as a reminder, and for anyone new to the channel, I'm going to do a rating system at the end to tell you what I thought about this and kind of what I would change if I had to rework this base again. I will say of all the bases that I've built, this one has given me some of the biggest challenges in terms of correcting the pathing. I would fix one area and they'd plow through another area. I don't know if 20.5 offered up some changes or if I'm just rusty after taking a month off of content. But either way, this one has been a challenge. All right, so we're at the final push now. So time to start planning for getting some grenades down there on the bottom. We'll try to see if we can get a big crowd of these guys grouped up. That's a pretty good crowd right there. Luckily, I don't think that they've busted through any of the bottom walls down there, so we're in pretty decent shape here. It's just the question of whether we can clear after the Horde Night ends. Let's see if we can dump a last little group here. Down they go. All right, they're all sitting down there electrocuted. Just light everybody on fire. Bombs away, folks. There we go. That's a good clear. 20 minutes left. 20 minutes, folks. All right. There we go. Some more fire down there. Let's see if we can get another grouping. We've got 5 grenades left to work with. 10 minutes left. All right, let's get those grenades laid down there. Save that one last one for the pin. Let's hope this does it. After this, we just got to pull out that M60 and go to town. She's just dancing on the edge of that right there. All right, here we go. 4 o'clock, that is the end of Horde. Now it's time to clear things out. So we have cleared everything out of here. 5:55. So it took us about 2 hours after Horde Night to get all the zombies out of here. But let's get into the ratings here. So first I'm going to start with maintenance. I'm going to give maintenance a pretty low score. We're going to go 5 out of 10 on this one. You can see the base is beat to hell. There's going to be a ton of repairs. And I also had to put a lot of materials in just to make this function and make the pathing work correctly. Next up for survivability, I'm going to go 7 out of 10. Even though this run was pretty solid and I didn't lose a ton of health, you're really exposed by cop spit. And on previous runs, I just got wrecked. From a fun factor, I'm going to go 8 out of 10. This one was actually a blast. It was intense. I never got to stop and just chill out and relax. It was always one thing after another. Expandability, I'm also going to go 8 out of 10. There's plenty more traps that I could add to this one pretty easily. And then lastly, multiplayer, 8 out of 10 also. You could add another 3 or 4 people easily and this base would operate perfectly. So that is the Night Train, folks. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you'd like to download it and play with it yourself, it is on my Patreon site. I'm also going to be doing a video on the garage doors to show you how those function. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing for more crazy base designs. Take care. Echoes out.